Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all doing good and well. So it's time for a special video on the channel as we're doing a Chvrches album ranking. Now this is a synth pop band from Glasgow who were formed in 2011, I'm going to be joined by Rock of All Ages and Children on the Couch to do a ranking of their four studio albums. And as they've just got the four studio albums, as well as doing two rounds of the ranking, if you like, we'll also be naming three of our favorite songs from each record as we go through our rankings. So for the first round, we'll be doing our fourth and third place each, and then the second round we'll be doing our second and first place each. So first of all, how am I guess doing? How are you doing, Rock of All Ages?
We're recording this on my 30th birthday, and I already don't like it.
Happy
Take me back to
birthday.
my 20s, please.
Yeah, I mean, someone is turning a particular milestone that is a bit older than that soon as well. I'm turning 40 soon, so
Oh, wow. Happy birthday in
thanks
advance.
very much. Yeah, yeah. And we're also joined by star, of course, and host of the fantastic series, Is It That Bad? We have Hector, Children on the Couch. How you doing?
I'm doing good, and since we're naming how old we are,
Yeah, maybe a
I'll be turning 48 in September.
That's a good number.
Age is just a number, man. I
it's
feel
just a
young.
number. It's just a
Yeah.
number. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. It's like it's sort of in a way we're sort of nicely spaced apart
Sure. Yeah.
in terms of age. Which is good. It's good. Okay, so let's kick things off with our fourth and third places then, without any further ado. And of course, this isn't the usual sort of slightly. My content is usually hard rock and heavy metal, so this is a little different. But I thought this would follow on nicely from the synth pop albums video I did pretty recently on the channel as well. So yeah, Rock of All Ages. Do you want to kick off with your fourth and third place albums?
Uh, oh, before I do, I want to very quickly say I assume we're not counting Lauren Mayberry's solo album
Yeah, we're
because
not.
if we did, that would be my second place.
Cool.
Anyway, fourth place Church's album. I picked Love is Dead from 2018, which is kind of in the fan consensus their weakest album. I personally think it's a little overhated. There were a lot of great songs on there. You know, Churches are still like capable of making a really great pop song. My third place song is Heaven Hell, Heaven slash Hell. The only word I can use to describe the song's atmosphere is icy, which is, if you'll pardon the pun, cool choice for a song about hell. And my second place is Get Out. This was the lead single, no connection to the Jordan Peele movie of the same name from the year before. Every section of the song is an earworm. Get out, get out, get out. I remember being in college when they were doing the rollout for this album, and I remember when they premiered this song, really catchy song. My first place is the opening track, Graffiti, a very powerful opening track. Um, yeah, good album. Has a couple of songs that maybe aren't up to their normal standard, but I enjoy it. And then my third place, this might be controversial, The Bones of What You Believe from 2013, their debut. Uh, I mean, it has plenty of great songs, but I feel like it's like really good for a band that is capable of being really great. My third place is Recover, a song that I describe as being very bouncy. And my second place is probably a hot take, The Mother We Share, the song that started it all.
Yeah.
Might be sacrilege to not call the band's signature song their best, but that is by no fault of its own. Uh, I've seen Chvrches live twice. This song is always great to hear live. And then my first place is Science slash Visions. I think epic is an overused word, but this song is absolutely epic. Very good album. And that's my third place.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. And I'll say why shortly. Hector, your fourth and third placed albums,
So
favorite songs.
So yeah, with churches, I have a different take. So it will be interesting. My album number 4 is their last one, Scream Violence. Uh,
Oh,
I don't know. I like that album that much. It has some good tracks, but I don't know. I think it's too dark, and it takes away of what I think churches. I like the more pop sound from them. Like if I want dark, I listen to a lot of dark music. So from churches, I don't want dark. But my favorite track from here, no order in particular, "How Not to Drown" because Robert from The Cure. Yeah,
yes.
that is a great track, and having like a legend, a living legend like
Mm.
Robert really put the icing, the cherry on the top. Then I would say "Asking for a Friend," which opens.
Mm,
That's a great track,
Great song.
I love that
uh,
song.
and
Yeah.
I like Lawrence like vibe on it. And the third one, I would say "Final Girl."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool track. That's a cool track. But besides those tracks, there's some tracks in there that are fly by me. That's why it's not a bad album, but I have it at my number 4. So my number 3, the same one that Rockefeller just had, "The Bones of What You Believe."
Mm.
It's a strong album, but I think they have stronger albums. Uh, so my favorite tracks again, "The Mother We Share," which is a great track. I have also "Recover" because I like the chorus on that one, and Lauren's vocals is really good. And the last one I picked, maybe this is a deep cut, "By the Throat."
Oh,
Ooh.
that's a great song. Yeah.
That song was like really cool and different. Plus, I like the title. I'm like, oh, by the throat. Kinky. I don't know what he was going for, but yeah, I thought that's a great track. So those are my fourth and third place albums.
Cool. Thanks, Hector. So, um, my fourth place was going to match with Rock of All Ages' fourth place. That is Love Is Dead.
Oh, you got it on CD.
I've got it on CD. In fact, I'll say straight away that I pretty much fell in love with this band as soon as I started listening to them last year. It's been almost a year since I checked them out properly. I knew of the name before I started to check them out, but pretty much as soon I can't remember the first. I think the first album I actually listened to was Every Open Eye, but it was from then on that I realized this was a sound I really enjoyed. But this one for me is like, I mean, Hector touched on it a bit. I think this is a very poppy. The choruses for me get a little jarring with repetition, and actually Get Out is one of my least favorite tracks. It's just the kind of get out, get out, get out, get out, and it just feels like for me that is a little too much of that. And Never Say Die is a similar case for me as well on this record. And I think for me, their other albums are that little bit more sophisticated in sound, in musicianship, compositionally, and there's slightly less of, for me, the thing I noticed with Loving Dead after just a couple of listens was how much of that, slight repetition came through, that it was a little bit simpler, but still a really good album. And I want to stress that because I think I've grown to like this a bit more. At one point, I had considered putting it in thirds, but then I couldn't move any of the other three albums down. I was like,
I,
this
I
band's discography is too stellar for me to have anything else bottom than Love Is Dead in the end.
I also briefly considered putting in third place.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a tough one because they're a really good band. Three favorite tracks, sorry, Wonderland, which is a
Oh,
lovely song.
great one. Great
Yeah,
one.
yeah, enjoy that one quite a bit. Heaven and Hell, which I think you mentioned, Rock of All Ages.
Yeah, yeah.
Great chorus from Lauren in that one. And My Enemy, which I think has a
Ooh.
guest vocal.
Matt Berninger from The
Berninger.
National,
Yeah,
I believe.
yeah, and really like that track, the combination of his verses with Lauren's chorus. And I was thinking, wouldn't mind more of those kind of songs actually. Well, not maybe too many of them because I love Lauren as a singer, but
Mhm.
it just for that track. And then you notice all those songs are quite moody. And so what Hector was saying, he likes happy churches. I think maybe I'm a slightly more moody churches person. Maybe I'm a depressed churches person. I don't know. But yeah.
That's most churches fans.
Yeah.
Maybe it's
Then The
so much.
fascinating thing is that we have all put the same album, number
Come
3.
again, Hector?
Sorry.
Maybe because I listen to so much metal.
Oh, that's a good point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you and I have the same fourth and third places.
And the same, we all have the same third place, getting a bit of glare there.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got, see, all of these are on CD because I've enjoyed them a lot. So yeah, Bones of What You Believe, my third place. And I think this is a great album. If you'd have asked me maybe 3 or 4 months ago when I was still, getting to know all these albums more and more, this might have been my number one even because I just felt it's so good from start to finish. It's just interesting that over time I've noticed I've been back to the other two albums, the top two albums, more than this one, despite the tracks being really good. And for me, this one maybe has the most, I don't know, to me it's like they all have that synth pop sound, but this one sounds like they're drawing from the 80s sound the most to my ears, out of all four of them. But they're still making it modern. I feel like there are bands that have perhaps out of a lot of synth pop bands made a success of this sound in the modern era, if you like. And yeah, this is a great album. My three favorite tracks, probably Gun. I think these are all singles. Actually, Tether's an amazing song. I
Mhm.
think love Tether. Um, and then Recover, which I think Hector mentioned as well.
Hector and I both had it.
And
Or-
and
Yeah.
Rock of All Ages, yeah. Okay, over to you, Rock of All Ages for number two. Number one.
Okay.
Can you decide?
Um, believe it or not, my number one pick was like I knew it before we even like started planning this. But I'll get to that in a moment. My second place is Screen Violence from 2021. Chvrches did a disservice by making the lead single He Said, She Said the worst song on an otherwise excellent album. Also, this is kind of amusing only to me, I think. Screen Violence was released a week after Solar Power by Lorde, and both albums have on both albums, track 3 is called California, which I
Mm,
thought was interesting. They
yeah,
both like kind of cross paths together. Like Lorde curated one of the Hunger Games soundtracks, and Chvrches had
yeah.
a song in there. And then on to my top 3 songs. Third place is Final Girl. This album had a horror movie theme, as you can tell by the fact that there's a song called Final Girl. And also the album cover kind of looks like that one scene from
Yeah.
Poltergeist with the
Yeah.
hand on the TV. On the tour for this album, because I've seen the band twice, uh, Lauren would have a costume change where she put on a white shirt with black text reading Final Girl. And she also covered herself in fake blood
Yeah.
a la Stephen King's Carrie. I thought this song played into the theme very well. Also, I'm a sucker for a good bass line.
Mhm.
And I love how in the chorus, Lauren sarcastically contemplates quitting, getting married, and changing her accent. Because, as we all know, a lot of singers from Britain, Scotland, and Ireland lose their accents when they sing. Not Lauren Mayberry. Her Scottish accent remains prominent. Uh, my second place is How Not to Drown, featuring Robert Smith from The Cure. How is this not the lead single? This song
Right?
is so good. It's goddamn amazing. But my number one pick is Violent Delights. The verses are so quiet and ominous. And then you get that huge chorus. These violent delights keep creeping into my nights. Oh, that song is so good. Great album. Has one dud on it, but everything else absolutely makes up for it. And then my number one album is Every Open Eye from 2015. This is one of my Desert Island albums. I adore this album. Not a skip on it. My third place is Downside of Me. This isn't the song I think about or listen to the most. Songs like Leave a Trace have gotten more plays for me. But coming back to it, for such a subdued song, the emotions and Downside of Me are really, really powerful. And then my top 2 songs, I went back and forth on these. This was so hard for me to pick. So my compromise to myself was that my second place is my personal favorite song. And then my first place is what I think is the objective best song. So my second place is Keep You on My Side. Has a lot of energy, has a great sense of urgency to it. Amazing song. And then first place is Clearest Blue, the song that gives the album title. I mean, it's no notes, just an impeccable song. And that's my top two.
Yeah, great song. Good choices.
Nice. So, controversy with my second pick. My second,
no.
Every Open Eye. So it's my second pick. It's a great album.
Yeah.
And I like, you know, the use of the themes here, and Lauren's voice is great. So the tracks that I pick of this record, I pick Leave a Trace because I love that song. I think I know it's a single, but it's a great single.
Yes.
I also pick a track that maybe this is like maybe it's like I don't think it was a single, Empty Fret.
Oh, great song.
Yeah, I thought that song was great. I like the the wordplay, the lyrics about the being an empty fret, and of course, Clearest Blue. Clearest Blue is a great track, and I love it. So that is surprise. The album that apparently every Chvrches fan thinks is their weakest is my favorite, and it's Love Is Dead from 2018. Maybe that was the first album I listened to Chvrches. And you gotta, people, I listen to a lot of fucking death metal. Like Gloom, like Misery. And contrary to popular belief, I do love some great pop music. But it has to be, this is a great pop album. Yes, it's, you know, it's more pink, it's more light, but like I'm telling you, songs from this in 2018 stayed in my brain. Like the songs that I picked Forever like, because it's so dramatic. It's
a good one, actually. Yeah.
Will hate you too forever, forever, forever. I'm like, yeah, that's a great breakup song. I can relate to it more now. But yeah, and the other one, I know, Tom, you said that this track can be annoying, but I don't know why. I think this song should be in a James Bond movie, and it's never, ever, 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 ever say that.
There actually was a James Bond movie called Never Say Never Again.
Yep.
Yes. So when I listen to that song, it's like, this is the best James Bond track that was never put into a James Bond movie. But my favorite track from the record is Miracle. Yeah, I like that track.
You know what's interesting? That song got compared to Imagine Dragons, so I thought you were going to hate that song.
Well, I don't know. I think Imagine Dragons suck, but maybe it's Lauren's voice. The fact that they are talented. I mean, and Imagine Dragons, huge pile of turd shit. That's how strongly I think about Imagine Dragons. But yeah, I think this is a great pop record. I was struggling. I almost put Every Open Eye first, but I don't know. The album from them that I listen to the most is this one, and it's because it's like a feel good type of record that I like to put where I want to get in a good mood, and that's why I have it in my number one.
Nice.
Awesome. Okay. Did you say your favorite songs as well? You did, didn't you? Yeah.
He did.
For Every Open Eye. Yeah. Yes, you did. All right. So keep track. All right. So my number two is Screen Violence by Rock of All Ages. You'd think we
have the exact same ranking
conversation beforehand, but we didn't have a conversation beforehand until we shared these. But yeah. And the longer I'm with this album, though, the more it's gone up in my estimation as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if in 6 months' time it was my number one, actually, because it's knocking loudly on the door of Every Open Eye at the moment. Really like this album. I like the themes, how they tie those together with all the songs. and it does flow really well too. And I do think this is quite a moody. It's got the moody sounds of Churches a little more in the record, like Hector was saying earlier. Um, and yeah, great songwriting. I think the Robert Smith song is a great song. Actually, it's not one of my three chosen songs. Would you believe it? Um, I mean, I think there's lots of really great tracks on this one. My three favorite songs were Good Girls, which is
Yes.
actually one of those songs you could say is a little like, I suppose, a Love is Dead song in a way, because it's quite a sort of the chorus is
A
maybe a
little
little bit
bit, yeah.
repetitive,
Yeah.
but yeah. Um, Violent Delight's one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a great
Yes.
song. Yeah, yeah. And then the open Asking for a Friend is my all-time favorite Churches song at the
Ooh,
moment. Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I think it's because it's sort of the gradual lead into the those big synth notes that come in later. The sort of dun, dun, and the way it builds up and up and up, and then you get that really lovely solo, don't you? In the sort of in the breakdown bit. It's amazing. Yeah, yeah. So all those reasons. But yeah, Asking for a Friend, I love that song. And there's another song which wasn't on the original release on the director's cut, which I think should have been on the original release, that is too good to not be on the original release. Screaming. Don't know if either of you heard that song. One of the
Uh,
bonus tracks from the director's cut version.
I think I've heard the director's cut, but I don't remember how that one goes.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was a great song, and if that was on the original release, I would probably have it as one of my three favorites. But yeah, wasn't on the original release. Came out, I think that came out a couple of months after the original did. But yeah, I mean their bonus tracks are all actually quite good as well. I've been listening to them, and yeah, they're great too. Which means my number one is obviously Every Open Eye, which we all rate, I think. So Rock of All Ages number one, and Hector's number two,
Hmm.
Biggie's number two. So yeah, great album. And was the first one I think that I listened to, as I said earlier, like, and it was during the summer, and it felt like a very summery record. And I
Hmm.
think I said this when I was talking about this album in the Synthpop albums video I did a few weeks back, where I just think it's kind of and it's very epic sounding. You could say that about a lot of Church's songs, but this one sort of feels like they took the bones of What You Believe, but they made something like the sounds more epic, perhaps a little bit more, you know, pushing it more towards commercial side of things as well. Very accessible songs. Never Ending Circles. I love that opening track. Really good song. Leave a Trace. Yeah, another one of my three. I think that one. So I've kind of the first two songs in the album. I do think it's great all the way through. Um, and a bit of a kind of a maybe an underrated song, High Enough to Carry You Over, which Martin sings.
Oh,
I think that's
Martin
really,
Doherty,
really
yeah,
great
one of his
track. I
songs.
mean, it's strange maybe to pick a track which doesn't have Lauren singing, but I feel like he's pretty good. He sounds really great, and I think this is like it's kind of dancey, and they're really good at their vocal loops, Churches, and the way they use those in the songs and change them up. And yeah, there's something really clever about all the way they arrange vocals as well as their synth work. So they're sort of great musicians. I really think that. Um, yeah, so that's Every Open Eye. It's my number one.
Yes.
And
Oh,
yeah, interesting. Like Hector's kind of been the contrarian of the
I
two of us, which is good. Which is good because it would have been boring if we all had the three same rankings. So
I'm
fine.
rebel, but I'm thinking maybe the screen violence. Now I'm rethinking it should have been my third. but whatever. Like I think it's because I spend the least time listening to it. So maybe I'll listen to it more. But that song with Robert Smith, I'm like just getting Robert Smith on
Yeah.
your record. I would have been like, I'm not worthy, Robert Smith.
That one scene in Wayne's World, we're not worthy.
Yeah.
I'm not worthy of the cure. So, yeah. But it was fun listening to all their albums. But yeah, I got the hot take with Love Is Dead. I'm giving Love Is Dead some love.
It's not dead
As
after
am
all.
I. As am I.
Yeah, yeah. But they certainly don't have, I don't think they have any albums that could go on Is It That Bad? Right.
Oh, no, no.
So they're safe. They're safe at the moment anyway. Who knows? Maybe there is still a potential candidate.
I hope
They are
not.
unless they do a song with Kid Rock.
Why would they? I feel like Lauren's politics would like make her
Yeah,
refuse
very
to
different
do
from
anything
rock.
with him.
I know that would be in a twisted world, like she would do a song with Kid Rock. Uh, how would that sound like?
Uh, Weird as hell, probably.
Yes.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what happens next with them because Lauren's done her solo records, which we mentioned before we recorded. But
Yeah. I
yeah,
just
whether they will get back together and maybe release a
Well,
fifth studio album.
Lauren has insisted that Chvrches is not breaking up.
Mm,
Although it does say on their Wikipedia page that they are on hiatus.
yeah.
But yeah, they have kind of made some noise about working on a new album already. So maybe this year, next year, we'll get it.
but I think
Maybe
Lauren
next
made
year. Maybe next year.
yeah. Hear me out. I think she made a mistake in putting that album in December. Albums that are in December go into the nothing of
You know what happened? She had some label issues. Like,
oh,
yeah, and they had to like get a new producer, and there was a whole thing behind the scenes. Like,
should
she
have waited
started
January.
she started her solo tour before, so like she put out one single and then immediately started a solo tour in September of 2023, and like by the time the album finally came out, she had performed all of the songs live and
So
released like half of the album as singles. So
Mm.
I think had the stuff with the label gone a little more smoothly, we would have gotten the album sooner. And I mean, I'm not complaining now that it's finally out because like it was very high on my 2024 albums list.
yeah, the thing is when you take put an album, you need to take it before Thanksgiving because everything that comes in December is kind of forgotten. You're not on the end of year list. Like
You know what though? You know what though? David Bowie released Hunky Dory in December.
oh, but it was the 70s.
I
That's
will
true.
say I waited to hear Lauren's album before I did my year-end list. It was I was recording my year-end list just a couple of days after, so one might argue that's not enough time, and it probably isn't in truth enough time to digest a record. But I wanted to at least hear it a few times before doing my list. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know that album's coming out on the 6th of December, was it? We just said, yes.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll try and at least give it a shot before I do my year end list, knowing that's coming out. I think, yeah, those bands that release even nearer to like the end of the year and Christmas I actually tend to assume it's label issues because there was another band, I think it might have been Alina Gavrilenko's band Everdawn that had delays or something. As I recall. So it can happen. I think it's usually they want it to come out earlier, but there's some kind of issue with getting it out. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let's round things off after this exciting Chvrches ranking. And
Mm-hmm.
just to say a thanks to my two special guests today here, Rock of All Ages and Hector Children on a Couch. Do you want to cover whatever might be coming up on your channels? Anything you want to say to the audiences? So Rock of All Ages, you got anything exciting coming up on Rock of All Ages?
Yeah. I have later this month the top 10 rock radio hits of 2017 with Senorita Sabrosura.
Oh wow, cool.
And then but that's coming in like a little over a week. And then in May, I'm doing the very first of May, I'm doing like top 10 songs of 2018. And right now I am editing the 2019 episode. So stay tuned.
Chvrches didn't make it into the top 10 songs of 2018, I'm guessing.
No. The only song they released that year was the one with Marshmello, and they've disowned that song.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bad song.
Yeah.
Hector, what you got coming up on the couch? Any
So
is that bad?
right now, as we're filming this, a new Is It That Bad is premiering, and we finally got the balls to talk about Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that will be good.
yeah, that one is good. JC recommended that we do Kiss, but if anyone knows JC Rock'n'Roll Reviews, he's a diehard Kiss fan. He's in the Kiss army. So I'm like, which albums? And he gave like a list of albums that maybe we could
That's a
cover.
very long list.
Yeah, but there was like a disco album, but the one that stood out to me is the one in 1997 where they went grunge, and I'm like, grunge, and I'm like, that's the one we have to talk about. So right now, that Is It That Bad is online right now, and the next Is It That Bad that's coming up on 420 Easter and Smoking Pot Day. It's Hollywood Undead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's the next Is It That Bad? And of course, I got the interviews and things always.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, and yeah, on the Green Man, still sort of in a bit of an irregular phase at the moment, whilst I'm still moving, although my new place is now ready and waiting for me, apart from some work that needs doing there. And then finally, I'm hoping to be like almost restarting things a little bit with the new backgrounds and new videos properly more regularly coming out than they are at the moment. So, but I do have, I am planning to do an Epica album review, their new album Spiral. Do have plans to do my top 10 horror films for the 2020s decade so far. And also I am planning on doing, oh God, it's escaped me now. That's good, isn't it? A top 10 symphonic metal ballads was something else I was thinking of doing fairly soon. But yeah, sort of keeping the symphonic metal theme going at the moment on the channel. So yeah, well, thanks everyone. Don't forget to drop a like and a sub to my guest channels, as well as the Green Man. Of course, so you've got Rock of All Ages, Children on a Couch Views, and the Green Man. And yeah, until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us all. And go listen to Chvrches if you're new to them. Definitely check them out. From me, my guest, bye for now.